Hey, Mengxia, it's great to see you again. Thanks for getting together with us. I wanted to present to you a new doctoral student at Northwestern University. This is Taylor Wiggins. Taylor did their undergraduate studies at Wake Forest University. They're an outstanding candidate. I still remember seeing their dossier when I learned about the chance to recruit Taylor to the group at Northwestern. And Taylor has experience in research as well, did some amazing work on quantum dots during one of Taylor's summer research periods. So it's wonderful to have Taylor in the group. And I thought it'd be really fun to have a kind of three-way conversation to learn a bit more from you about your experience kind of progressing from the PhD to the postdoc to now being an independent faculty member, running your own group at Yale. So Mengxia, I wanted to kick off with a first question, which is just about your time doing your PhD in Toronto. And I actually just wanted to hear, what was the research achievement that you did during your PhD that you were most excited about? Tell us a bit about the research itself.
So during my PhD at Toronto, I worked on colloidal quantum dot solar cells. And at that time, I'm shooting for high performance quantum dot solar cells that can be used for infrared photovoltaics and also can be printable solar cells. The achievement I got and the project I'm most interested about is my work of hybridization of colloidal quantum dot with inorganic metal halide perovskite. The reason I started the project is completely different. I started the project because I want to dope the colloidal quantum dot using some remote dopant to increase the carrier concentration. I add cesium into the material and find that may have the reaction with my ligand, which is the lead iodide, and that will form a thin shell of perovskite on top of quantum dot. So then I go further into the materials discovery and design a hybridized material which combines both quantum dot and perovskite. And more interestingly is that I find the two materials share the same lattice structure and they have very similar lattice parameter, and thus dramatically changes the material stability when the two materials are combined. It turns out to be a nice paper published in Nature in 2019. And I found the reason why I'm interested and I'm most proud of this project because it gave me a lot of surprise during the project and it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, and with that being said, I guess going into the future, is what you did during your PhD sort of the same as what you do now, or is it drastically different? And like, what excites you now about sort of the photodetector, photovoltaic world?
It's different. Like what I'm working on now is different from my PhD project. It combines both application of solution process semiconductors, but also the fundamentals of semiconductors and solid state devices. And that's another part I learned from my postdoc group. I want to combine the two expertise I've gained during my PhD and postdoc training and move into some new field for my independent career.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a professor, or did you ever consider working in industry?
Not really. I started to consider being a professor in my third year PhD. And before that, I'm kind of not so clear what I want to do.
How did you decide around your second or third year that you were interested?
I think one thing is by doing research in task group, we explored a lot in different research field. And TED is a very good model showing us how the professor can help mentor students and train the next generation of PhD students and researchers.
Can you tell us a bit about the step going from the postdoc to the faculty position? Just a bit of a sense of what applying for a faculty position in a very competitive environment looks like. And so, did you submit a whole lot of applications around the world? Did you do some Zoom interviews? Did you get a few in-person interviews? Did you have a decision to make, comparing some offers? What was the role of your postdoc advisor? How were the various resources that could support you mobilized as you searched for this important next step?
My application to the tenure track faculty position through this application, I got Zoom interviews, but also some on-site interviews. Because of the COVID, I did all the on-site Zoom as well. I would say my postdoc advisor, Akshay, and also Ted helped me a lot. They offered the strongest support in my application process. They both write strong letters for me. And also, I have sent Ted some of my slides of my job talk, and he gave me some valuable comment and feedback. Another treasure is the alumni from Ted's group. I couldn't mention everyone, but I would say alumni from Ted's group are all over the world. Whenever I want to apply for different universities in a different location, I always reach out to our group alumni to get information and ask help. That helps me a lot to either negotiate with different institutions or went through the application and job interview more smoothly.
Can you tell us a bit about how your style of doctoral student advising was influenced by your experience in the PhD and the postdoc, and also maybe some of the new things that you've brought to it?
I'm still learning how to mentor graduate students, and that's a big project for me. The good thing I've learned from Ted's group is when I was in Ted's group, we are always encouraged to put 80% of our focus on our main project, but also contribute some of our time and effort in someone else's project collaboratively, or having some of our side project. I think that's a very good approach, and I also use that in my current group.
So with that being said, sort of your mentee mentorship style, like how do you foresee your group within the coming years? Like how big do you want it to be? How small? Like where do you see your group maybe 10 years from now?
That's a very good question. Right now, I'm only started for half an year. So I only have 2 PhD students working with me. They are first year students. And if I look for 10 years from now, I expect my group have around 10 people.
Thanks very much to you, Professor Mengxia, for joining us for a great conversation about your amazing career trajectory. I know I learned a lot and really enjoyed it. Thanks very much, Taylor Wiggins, new chemistry PhD student at Northwestern, first year, for coming with your questions and your discussion topics for Mengxia. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much, Ted. And thank you, Tyler, for being here with us.
Yeah, no, thank you so much.